Okay, now we're going.
Now we're going.
For the second time.
For the second time.
Yes. Okay, here we are. We've decided to change the clock this time a little bit. Okay, so I've decided that we should have a little more format to this show.
Ooh, what a thought.
Yeah, so at the beginning of every show, if we can remember, and you know how good we are at that, we're going to say, "Hi, I'm Sean."
Hi, I'm Jen. I'm presuming that's my line, right?
Yeah, let's go with that.
Okay.
Yeah. Just so that we can introduce ourselves to the people that are watching the thing, right? Because so far we've been assuming that everybody knows who we are, and then
giving our first names will certainly help things out.
You know.
For more information, see our bios on DBA.com. Stop coughing.
I know. I've been. You know the problem.
That's the extent of the format. Is
yes.
We're going to give our names.
I didn't say I was good.
There you go.
Well, okay. So you know the thing is like I've gone to the doctor twice for my cough now, and twice he's given me medicine for it, and it lasts for about. The medicine takes about 10 days, and like 2 days after I'm off the medicine, I start coughing again, and this is like the second day. It's crock work.
And how does that relate to transaction isolation levels? I thought there was something sepally in there.
It's late enough that I'm actually trying to figure that out. Did I start talking? What was I talking about again?
Was I talking about sandwich?
Okay, so wow, we've been doing so much recently.
Yeah.
I've personally been doing a lot of reviewing of hardware and software, and so today is what? What's the date today? It
26th.
is the 26th
of January.
And tomorrow, Sybase releases their brand new version of ASE.
Do they? Okay.
I didn't see anything super in there. They've got some backup storage stuff that works with Tivoli, and then they've got a new in-memory DB component that's supposed to help with the cloud. Whatever. That's all I have on that. I just thought I'd throw that out there.
I'm trying so hard not to talk about. There's this review that Sean just did for some random thing, right? And he says, "I want you to read this and see if I get too snarky about it." And so I'm reading it. It's okay, and I'm reading it. It's okay. And, each section is progressively getting worse and worse and worse. And finally, there's this heading, and it says, "I can't stand people who go on about this." And it's like, okay, starting to get a little bit snarky. It was a good review. I liked it.
Or whatever do you mean?
No idea.
As far as topics go this time... Oh, wait a minute. Okay, so, this isn't really a topic, but we've been giving... I'm watching the delay on the camera, and it's really disturbing me. We've been giving a lot of stuff away.
Yes, we have. Quite a lot.
We've had a lot of content, and the thing that I still don't get is that people aren't more into the webcams than they are. I just don't understand that, because they're cool, and maybe it's one of those things that, well, I really don't care about a webcam, because you don't have one.
Well, I've got two things on that. I talked to my people on Twitter, my tweeps. That's right, I'm one of those people that says
I thought
tweeps.
they were twits.
No, that's what people say to make fun of it, but it's okay. They just don't understand us. Things and other things. Webcams. Talk to my people on Twitter, and the consensus is that a lot of people already have one, which goes in with a lot of netbooks and laptops already come with integrated webcams. And you say they suck, but they really don't. My webcam on my netbook is fine.
Well, my sister's sucked.
Well, and then the third one is, we have a lot of need to look at ourselves on TV and or on the computer, but other people don't. They don't, apparently are not taking advantage of the marvelous web conferencing and Skype type opportunities and so forth.
I see.
So there's that. One thing I wanted to throw out there is a quick thank you. Speaking of giveaways, Brent Ozar was doing this contest. It's actually pretty funny, and I should link to it in the show notes. Rewriting TV shows for databases, and I did Star Trek Next Generation, and I thought it was pretty funny, and I won Brent's new book, Brent et al. It's Brent and Jonathan Kehanis and Christian Bolton and Cindy Gross and a whole bunch of people. Sorry if I didn't name you off, but Professional SQL Server 08, Internals and Troubleshooting. There you go. And he signed it and everything, and now I've just got to go around and get everyone else's signature. I got all the little X's and O's.
Yeah, I can't see that, but that's all right.
That's okay. See, there's a smiley face.
Let's see.
You're gonna have to take my word for the X's and O's because I was kidding.
Oh, so you XO'd my wife, dude?
No, he actually mentions you too, sort of an acknowledgement.
Yeah,
Dude, I'm not hitting on your wife. So yes, I want a book. For someone who's
So okay, this topic that keeps leaping out at me tonight, and I'm trying to avoid it, but I just can't. How to stay motivated at work, or how to make friends and influence people at the water cooler. No.
Because of that friend of ours who's having trouble staying motivated at work.
Yeah, that friend of ours.
That friend of ours.
No,
See, the great thing is you don't know if we're joking which one of us we're talking about, or it could be both, or it could be neither.
Yeah.
You just don't know.
But okay, so getting serious for a second though, right? I tweaked this facial there.
Go ahead.
It's amazing to me. I mean, companies beg you to leave. I mean, remember the good old days back when they were making Back to the Future, and before, way back when,
the early 1950s, sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I mean, seriously, my father was, or I said my stepdad was at his company for 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
And you see that stuff every now and then these days.
Now it's almost something to be derided.
Yeah,
look at that same job for 5 years.
Oh my god, dude. But yeah, I mean, seriously. And
we've actually got a guy at work. This is his last week. And everyone's talking to him today and saying, "How long have you been here, man?" "Oh, 4 years." Whew, wow. Everybody was like, "Wow, man, 4 years."
I'll be at my current gig for 4 years in August.
I'll do it for you then. Whew, man, wow. 4 years.
The thing is like, okay, so companies claim that their biggest asset is their people.
Do they still claim that?
Yes, they still claim that.
Because most companies are like, yeah, money is our biggest asset.
And that's one of the things that really gets to me is it's all lip service. They will bring you into a team meeting, or a group meeting, a company meeting, and spout that BS that the employees are the most valuable thing there, and then never ever ever lift a finger to do anything to actually enrich an employee. But I swear I'm not bitter.
Neither is our friend.
Yes, exactly.
Well, I don't know. I think there's a lot that goes into that. I think you've got... Okay, first off, you've got the higher up the chain you go, the further removed the people are, potentially, from actual workers. And so you get people like, I know what'll keep employees. How about we have a
lay
fun
half
run?
of the department off.
Yeah, how about we have a fun run? That's what keeps people in jobs. And it's like, okay, all the activities are nice and all, dude, but it's not why I'm here.
Most of the time, they're not really all that nice.
But... So I think that's part of it, is the direction from up top. And then in the meantime, I've just seen a lot of, we'll say, confusion in the workplace. People don't get a formal and a clear idea of what their job is supposed to be out and what the best way to accomplish projects and lead people. Some of the biggest detriments to keeping a person in the workplace is a shoddy project. I'm not even necessarily talking about the product, but if you don't have clear leadership, or if you allow scope leap again and again and again, it's going to frustrate the heck out of your people. And when a person leaves,
scope leap or scope creep?
Leap.
Oh my!
This is something I've been hearing out and about. Is not scope creep, but we've had scope leap, and every time we tack on a little bit more time, says my friend, they try and cram more stuff in it. So I'm just saying that there are a lot of things that can contribute to me not wanting to be here.
Well, it's
anymore.
not only but I get that that's stuff that can't really be avoided. I mean, it can be kind of avoided.
I think it can be avoided.
But
that's a big
but
part
I'm talking about really companies that go out of their way to not give you the raise, to not give you the bonus, to not send you to the one training class that you want to go to.
All of that comes down to money.
And the thing is like, okay, here's a really good example. I got an email from a guy just a couple days ago who really, really, really wanted to bitch about this.
Okay.
Right? With the dog over there dreaming?
Yeah.
Shut up. And so he was really upset because his company didn't send him to a training thing that he wanted to go to. And the thing, it's like when you add it up, right? I mean, he watches gazillions of terabytes of data for this place, right? And when you add it up, the cost of this course would be less than a single hard drive that they pay for 60 times a year.
Yep.
Right? It's not a money issue. That's bullshit. It is not a money issue. You look at the amount of money that companies waste.
You know, we were talking about
waste
this.
and throw away. You can't tell me that it's a money issue when the but that, you see, that is a failure to invest in your people. Your people will stick around if you give them something to stick around. Granted, projects, right? Going out of scope and getting delayed and all of that. You like to think, this is Sean's perfect world, right? Because it doesn't always, but that the more training you get, the better you're going to be at these things. And so the projects will creep less. They will ultimately be more successful the more you learn and so on. If you're picking the right types of classes, then that doesn't really count for, going for. And I'm right at this second. I'm talking about the classes that like Paul and Kim teach, and that Kalen teach, and that Itzik teaches, right? I'm not talking about the go to Joe Blow SQL University and take a week of Jagoff T SQL class. What?
Don't be dissing on SQL U. That's an actual thing.
Yeah, but I didn't mean him.
Okay, I was like, dude, that's
go
not cool.
to.
While we're on the subject, you should go to SQL University at SQLchicken.com.
Yeah, no kidding.
Which is really good stuff.
Like CTI or DeVry or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Any of these other companies that have these week-long courses.
Oh, okay.
Like SQL administration. Dude, you are going to learn the most bottom-of-the-barrel piece of crap that's not going to give you any. You know what I mean? It's
Here's
not
the
gonna
GUI.
give you anything.
The end.
Yeah, exactly. So,
by the way, this is a good time to mention that SQL Saturday 35 is coming up fast. SQLSaturday.com.
Here it comes.
Moving right along. That was our commercial break, and now we can move along.
Back to the pitching. So, yeah, but I mean, so I'm talking about stuff that will really do them some good, because like SQL skills and scalability experts, those guys are banging out some damn awesome training, right? So why wouldn't you invest in one of your people to go to something like that to really improve to actually improve the quality of what they're pumping out for you for less than you would spend on a hard drive? And I guarantee you there aren't that many people in your company. I've been in a lot of companies. There aren't that many people in your company, in your department, in IT, who are even interested in taking a lot of training. I'm always, anytime I work for an IT department, right? They've got a training budget, and I'm always the one pushing the envelope. And we always you always find out when somebody goes to training because they're gone, right? And they always say, well, contact him or her. I'm the only one who's ever gone for training. Very few exceptions. Go ahead. Yeah, because you're right, I'm on a rant.
You are a big rant, and I'm just going to sit over here and look pretty. Try. Yeah, we were actually talking about something similar to this. Stop.
Ew.
You might as well bring your slinky over here.
Ooh.
Keep the slinky away. We were talking about layoffs. This is actually about a friend of mine. This friend of mine's leaving their company and saying, and we were talking about,
what do you mean? The other one wasn't about a friend of yours?
Yes, it was. I've lost track of who has friends and things. Okay, anyway, and we were talking about who gets what. So, like, if they get this offer and the company counter offers, then that'd actually be too high to stay at their current company, because then when the axe falls, they're the first one because they're at the top of the pay grade. And I'm like, well, that doesn't make any sense, because contractors would go first because we're a renewable resource. You can pick them up and set them down. And a couple of people,
but I've lost that game a couple times.
A couple of people in the group were explaining to me that this is largely driven by accounting software, because contractors are considered, what's it called? It comes out of a different bucket. You've got your personnel, and then you've got your I forget what it's called. Somebody write me and tell me the word I'm looking for. But that's part of it. That it probably is to a great extent about money, even when it's like a $2,000 course or a $200 conference or whatever, because all these little expenditures that you can't.
Scary ass conferences you going to $200?
A one-day conference that you split among 4 people. Anyway,
SQL Saturday 35 in Dallas is free.
it's free.
May 22nd.
SQLSaturday.com. .com 3 something. You ran me off my track.
I see.
People are in different buckets. Money. Because with these little expenditures, you can't immediately say, look, we sent Bob to this training and now we are making this much more money. Because you look at a project from, the 5,000 level, 5,000 mile, 5,000 foot, from high up, and it's just a project, and people do stuff, and then you get a thing at the end, and you have trouble or you don't. There's no way to say, usually no way to say, well, Alan had this training, and therefore we were able to do it this much more quickly and save $4,000. Since you can't justify that cost, that's probably a large part of it.
But
money's
you
tight
can't ever
right now,
justify the cost of training. I mean, you can't ever quantify the cost of training.
I think
right?
you can occasionally justify, and I think that there are some companies and some managers and upper management that have that broader range of thinking, and then there are the people who are either penny pinchers or under the influence of penny pinchers. Getting the pressure to say, the training budget is only this, and you can't do that.
Yeah, well, I understand different buckets. I mean, I'm clearly not a child, right?
I'm just putting out theories.
Yeah,
people are.
But and I think a lot of the problem also is like you said, they're removed from the worker bees, right? And I mean, I have heard board members say, well, so what? Get another DBA. Mm-hmm. And it's like, are you high? I mean, you know how long it took us to find this one?
Where did I see somewhere, again, write me and give me the link, but somewhere today, just briefly glanced across and saw there was apparently an ad for, what was it? We need a database expert who works with terabyte data and all these different requirements, and they were offering $60,000 a year. And so they were starting up a contest to see, worst DBA job descriptions ever. I thought that was fun.
You remember mine from, it was probably the late 90s. This is the best one I've ever seen. A company in Irving was looking for a senior DBA and developer with experience in accounting and a lawyer, and they wanted to give like 55, 60K.
Must know.
I'm like, a
brain
financial
surgery.
expert, doctorate in law
Of doom.
Yeah, of doom. who's an admin and a developer. Like,
Absolutely. I think that's the thing that okay, you say you're a programmer, and everyone's like, ooh, you're a programmer. Are you a good programmer? Okay, well then you should make more money.
most
But
people don't make that
databases,
differentiation, but sure.
I don't know what it is about databases. I say somebody up to a layman, I say I'm a DBA, and they're like, what? And I'm like, I work with computers. Oh, well, what do you do? Oh, God.
I just say I'm in databases. I never say DBA because nobody knows.
If I say I'm in databases, I often get the, what's that? I think in general, for some reason, maybe we don't have enough publicity. Nobody knows what that is, and so in general, even the people in the industry largely don't care. It's databases. It's easy to say, so it must be easy. You don't.
Cisco's easy to say.
I'm just saying that people have this impression that databases are easy, and we've talked about that some too.
Well, no, I think databases have this mystical thing around them that nobody wants to touch.
And therefore, one DBA is replaceable with another one.
Yeah, sure.
Carry on.
In almost any gig I've ever been in, if you go to the NT guy or the exchange guy, and I watched this at my last gig, pretty heavy, right? And they've got a line around the corner out of their cubes with people waiting to talk to them and ask them questions, and nobody ever wanted to know anything about the database. It was like, database is there, we know it's there, it's working. That's all I want to. Just leave me away from the database. I don't want to see anything about the database. Just I don't want to know anything.
I've actually gotten questions from people who have to work with the database or code something for the database. So like
well,
analysts and testers that have to run code against the database, they'll say, okay, what's better, this or that? How does this work? How does this? So I've gotten some of that, and I've actually gotten a couple of programmers who had to write queries for the database come to me and say, help me make this run better. It's very rare.
No, that's fine. That's
you
fine.
can smile and all that, but these people will go and write their code and not code for performance. If you're watching, you know who you are. How dare you say that? Not code for performance.
I'm laughing because my only day in the office is Wednesday, and I typically have a line out my door. I get very little done on Wednesday, and it's because I'm answering questions all day long. I'm kind of like the SME for the group, you know. Almost none of my questions are about databases. I get asked questions about Windows or DNS or a firewall or something like that. Every now and then I'll get a database question, mostly from my other DBA.
Sure.
Well, no, I guess he asked me more database questions than anything. But every now and then I'll get an SIS question. But for the most part, it's all non-database related
Mostly it's
stuff.
groupies wanting to know what it's like to be you.
Yeah, that's what they are. Yeah, I'm so well revered at work.
I told him he's got this weird pseudo ego. I told him I was name dropping at work. He said, "Oh, how impressed were they that you're married to me?" Pretty impressed.
Yeah.
Very impressed. Have you told the story here about the book signing at the user group? When you brought all the books and offered to sign?
No.
I want to hear that. I don't know. I want to hear that story. If you've heard it before, you're going to hear it again now.
You know, it's actually, I still think that's pretty funny.
It's a good one.
So every month at the user group, I almost said every week, every month at the user group, I bring a load of books to give away for the door prizes. I'm like the director of marketing, right? But that just means I'm in charge of swag. So I brought a whole armload. Kept it clean. I brought a whole armload of see, because I didn't say ass load.
Books.
Of books. Thank you. I couldn't think of the word.
The word is books.
And the duck comes down. I was stalling because I couldn't think of the word. It's late. So anyway, I brought a whole load of books, and as I was giving them out, right after I got finished giving them out, I announced to the room, and there were like, 70 people there, give or take? I announced to the room, I'll be back here, and I'll sign any of you guys want. Right? I said, I'll be happy to sign any of those.
Because he's funny.
Yeah, because I'm funny. I didn't write any. I've never written a book. So
are you kidding? He's never even read a book.
Exactly. So it's really getting harder. The higher up I go on databases to find picture books. It's a lot harder, dude. My knowledge is going to cap right about here, and I'm never going to go any further.
I'm going to write a picture book. Go ahead.
Yes, exactly. Write down picture books.
Yeah, sure.
And this guy comes up to me afterwards and says, "Oh God, I just lost it."
And the guy says, "My God, Sean, did you really write all these?"
Yeah, that's right. I'm sorry. That's right.
Did you lose your own punchline?
Oh man, I'm very punchy.
But isn't it a great story?
It's fat. Yeah, if I could tell it.
I actually got to tell this story today about we were talking about.
You actually wrote down pick books.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I started actually to write down because you said write down picture books. I always thought, oh, that's a Buck Woody joke, and so I started to write pick buck. I'm like, no, that's not right. Books. So we were talking.
Buck's what?
We were name dropping today, and I was talking about that time we interviewed Joe Selko.
No, wait a minute. We or you were name dropping? Was anybody else name dropping?
Actually, yeah, there was another guy that was name dropping.
Okay, whose name did he drop? Does he know me too?
He had actually met Ken.
Oh.
And so I got to tell my Ken story.
Bach.
Bach. And a couple of people that I didn't recognize, but that doesn't surprise me. There are a lot of people. Oh, he's like, oh, he wrote this, and oh, he was part of the team on SIS, and I'm like, oh, okay, I didn't know that.
Kirk Hazelden?
Maybe. No, I don't know. Maybe it's possible. I'll ask the guy.
Yo, Kirk, what up, bro?
The guy that was name dropping, he's one of the guys that submitted an abstract for SQL Saturday. Because
number 35?
Number 35.
Is that the one in Dallas?
It's in Dallas, May 22nd.
Wow.
Subliminal marketing.
I bet it might even start at 8 a.m.
It might. It might. The speaker call might still be open too.
Wow. Yeah. So he submitted a session, did he?
Yes, he did.
On what?
Multi-facet index something or other. I forget because it's really, really late, and I'm trying to tell the story about Ken Henderson.
Okay, go ahead.
I'll go through your list and make sure that it's in there.
Is it Lee Everest?
No.
Okay.
Anderson. Brian Anderson.
Doesn't sound familiar right now, but I haven't looked at the list in a while.
So back to you guys. So
Anyway,
he met Ken, and I got to tell my Ken story, which I really like because it's all about him. I worked at I worked at Microsoft. I worked at Microsoft for about a year in the tech support queue.
Tech support queue.
In Irving. Tech support!
By the way, that's French for tail. That's where that comes from.
It is. Or ass.
Well,
it's different, isn't it?
Yes.
Moving right along, because I want to finish this. It's not that good of a story anymore. But I worked like 3 cubes down from Ken, and I was like, ooh, I was very starstruck, you know.
You know, he's the Guru's Guide guy. If you
Yeah,
guys don't
Guru's
know
Guide.
who he is.
And Sean sent his copy of Guru's Guide with me to get Ken's signature, and he instructed me very carefully on what to ask him to write. And I got the last punchline, so you can get this one. Hang on. So I was like, I can't ask Ken to write that in a book. He's like, yeah, sure you can. Go on, just introduce yourself. He's fine. So I walked up, I introduced myself, and I said, my husband has your book, and he would like you to write this. And he's like, really? Okay, so he wrote it down. So Sean now has...
And he did it too, didn't he?
Yes, he did. So Sean now has a signed book. Do you remember what it says?
It says, thanks for last night.
Yes, it does. And I can't quite remember whether he signed it Love Ken or not.
I don't remember either. I haven't looked at it in a while.
But thanks for last night.
I've got the book right over there.
And it got a smile out of him. And Sean and Ken actually started like... It was after that you all became friends.
Yeah,
right?
that's when we... Yeah, it was shortly after that we started dating.
Oh, that's such a sweet story, isn't it?
Isn't it, though?
That's my Ken Henderson story. So.
He's such a cutie.
He's a dreamboat.
This is gonna make one. This is gonna make one hell of a thumbnail for the thing.
There we go. We got our picture. So, anything else we want to cover? So, companies don't want to keep people, and books are good, and Ken Henderson was a funny guy.
Absolutely.
Other things.
He used to write pages and pages and pages on how to like get to the next levels in Doom or whatever
really
was popular at the time. I was like, oh my god.
You gotta have a hobby.
In his blog, it was like just you do this and you hold this down and click that. I mean, just pages of it. I'm like, dude, make a video, Christ.
Everyone's got their own medium.
Yeah.
So, I'm trying to think what else. Oh, SQL Server. Your class is online.
Yes.
Sean did a course.
Oh God, I have such a hard time with this.
SSIS.
Ground Zero SSIS for people who want to learn to do SSIS good and want to learn to do other things good too. Whew.
That's up on the site. I need to post the link, but if you go to my blog, midnightdba.com, and then click on blog, I have a blog that has the link.
I also today finished producing the other 2 clustering presentations from November.
Ooh.
It takes a long time to get this stuff worked out, but the guy was really cool. He did that session for us in the user group,
right? And
then did like almost 3 more hours on his own afterwards, installing a 2-node cluster and explaining it and
demos.
everything. So yeah,
because he didn't get to do the demos during the user group. Wow,
yep.
Wow,
and I've got those edited now. I did not push them to the site yet, but they are edited.
Wow.
And
those will be on the NT Swug page, because that's where all the Swug stuff goes.
But, I mean, it's clustering from nothing to all the way up, I mean, surely there's more to it than that, right? But it's a really good, but it's a really good primer, It's a really good primer. And you take that and you see that once, maybe twice. So there's different parts that you need to twice, right? And then you read it, but you have something to put it together with when you read like Alan Hurt's book on the topic or something, right?
Subject change, and then we should probably wrap up. I'm going to do something spur of the moment here.
Uh-oh.
We're talking about giveaways, and we've been giving away books, webcam, and all that, and talking about ramping that up significantly because we've got an anniversary coming up. Yes. We've got 2 years doing Midnight DBA.
Yes. Oh, now 3.
3 years. Sorry, I forgot our anniversary.
I think it's 3. 3 or 4.
Well, you forgot it too then. Anyway, we've got an anniversary coming up. We're going to start ramping up. We're going to do more contests and more all that kind of thing. But I think one of the things should be just a general email drawing. You email us your comments, tell us what you thought about a video, or if you see something wrong with the site or something. We're going to put your email into a drawing, and when we feel like it, we'll draw names out of the hat and announce winners on the site. And this is going to start getting fun. So email us.
I've been thinking also about having smaller contests throughout the month, and then at the end of the month having a larger contest
Out of everyone
who entered.
Yeah. We'll get it all ironed out, but in the meantime,
Yeah.
you should totally suck up to us, and we'll give you things.
Yeah.
So, I think
Tell us how great we are. It doesn't matter if it's true. Just go find some Elizabeth Barrett Browning or something and paste it into an email.
That'll do. I think they can tell us that we suck too if they do it
You
in
know,
an
how do
amusing way.
How do I love the let me select count star the ways?
Nice.
Uh-huh.
No, not select star. So select count the way. No, it doesn't matter how we call it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
I got that.
It's now that time, I think.
Yes.
It was lovely talking to you.
Your pick book is upside down.
My pick book is upside down. My pick buck is upside down.
Your pick bucks.
So, say goodnight and things.
Yeah, okay. Good night and things.
Good night and things. Party on Wayne.
Party on Garth.